Abbye Reynolds, and this is my interview for the 2011 World Vision Study Tour. And I have a little post-it note, and it says what I'm talking about, so if I'm looking down, that's because I'm looking at my post-it. Alright, my extracurricular activities, which is basically stuff I'm supposed to put on my college application. I'm in a lot of clubs at school. I'm in the art club, and the anchor club, and the drama club, and environmental explorers, and I'm also played varsity tennis this year. I played soccer my first 2 years of high school, and I spent a lot of time at school because I'm in this program called the International Baccalaureate Program, and it pretty much takes over my life most of the time. But I'm also really involved in my youth group, and I do a lot of volunteer work. I volunteered at the Boys and Girls Club in my community, and I also volunteer as a camp counselor for a few weeks every summer at Camp Caroline in Arapahoe, which is like off the coast of North Carolina. Oh, I'm from Kinston, North Carolina, by the way. I don't know if I should include that, but I did. And what else do I do? Do I do other stuff? My friend Mackenzie is recording this. Do I do other stuff?
You're in National Honor Society.
I'm also in the National Honor Society and the Spanish Honor Society. I'm also in the Spanish Club. Let's see, I'm on Quiz Bowl. We won first place in our county? Yeah, in our county this year. We went to regionals, but we didn't win then. But we did win in our county. And we beat the private school, and that was a big deal. Let's see, do I do anything else? I play bells. I do play handbells. I play handbells and I play the piano. That might be considered more of my hobbies, but I also do those things for fun. But I also put them on my college applications. I also work. I worked my junior year at this restaurant called Tokyo Kinston, a little Japanese restaurant. That was a learning experience because most of the people that I worked with, Mandarin was their first language. And I actually helped the manager's wife learn a little bit of English, so that was fun. And this year I work at another Asian restaurant called House of Long, and I'm a waitress. I was a waitress at Tokyo too, and that's another thing I do. Alright, now my hobbies, what I do for fun. I play handbells and I play the piano. I ran for a little while, but I don't really run that much. I'm in exams right now, so I don't really have that much time to run anymore, but I did run for a while. What else do I do for fun? I'm not much of a TV person. I don't really watch a lot of TV. I like to swing. I go to the park and swing. I feel kind of lame because I can't think of what I do for fun. Playing piano and bells is really fun. My youth group, I really like my youth group. We do a lot of stuff. We go on trips with bells. Usually we go to we played a lot of nursing homes, so that's a little community service activity, and we're invited to play at Disney World every year, and every few years we take the opportunity, and we're doing that this year, and we're doing that in the beginning of the summer. What else do I do for fun? Can you think of anything?
You swim in the ocean.
I do. I go to the beach. I go to the beach a lot. That's fun. My family my grandparents own a beach house in Emerald Isle, which is off the coast of North Carolina. I'm not sure if you're going to know where that is, but it's nice. I water ski. That's fun. I like to ride on boats. I like to fish, but I never really catch anything ever. And I like to learn how to surf. I thought about doing that this summer. But I'm probably going to be counseling at camp most of the time, or working, or being at the beach, so we'll see about that. Why did I participate in the 30-hour famine? My youth group was doing it. I know that's not my reason, but my pastor got together with the two pastors of two other churches, the First Presbyterian Church and the St. Mary Church. St. Mary's is an Episcopal church. And they all got together and were like, we should do the 30-hour famine. And I'm the president of my youth group. And I thought it was a really good idea too. And I mean, that was just interesting. It's just another way to help people. And I mean, it was kind of fun collecting sponsorships because I asked some pretty random people for some donations. I mean, it was really interesting to me to just see how, like, just a group of teenagers can actually do something to make a difference. And when we did a lot of activities during the famine too, like we did Stop Hunger Now, which I've done twice before. And that was really interesting just to see. I mean, there were a lot of people from our community that gathered at First Presbyterian just to box the food up, and us kids, we kind of made it like a race to package food, and it was really cool to know that we were having a good time, but we were preparing meals for a bunch of people. That was really neat. And the most important thing I learned was we watched this documentary, I think that World Vision may even send for us to watch. It was just really interesting to see places that are actually doing things to change, like, the technology of farming. They're not just giving people the meals like Stop Hunger Now does. Not that that's a bad thing, but they're also providing farmers overseas with the technology so that they can farm better and more efficiently, so that people can get more out of their little farms and plant, like, they can plant stuff, and there's so much good technology that they'll be able to grow more and the bugs won't get to it and stuff like that. And I thought that was really interesting that there's a lot of places in the United States that's helping people stop hunger with technology too, and not just, it's like the teach a man to fish thing, you know. The little saying, you can teach a man to fish, or you can give a man a fish, or you can teach a man to fish, and then he'll be able to fish for his whole life. I feel like that's kind of like that. Like, if we give them the technology to be able to grow their own food, then, I mean, it'll be more significant in the long run than just giving them a meal from time to time. So that was probably the most important thing I learned, was about the technology stuff. And then a weird, funny, quirky thing about myself. This was actually a hard thing for me to decide. One of my friends, the friend that was recording this, she actually told me that there's so many weird things about me that she can't just pick one out. But probably the most funny one is that I'm very uncoordinated. I'm really clumsy, and I just trip and fall all the time. When I was in 5th grade, I tripped over a kickball and I broke my arm. Stuff like that happens a lot. I'm just really clumsy. I guess that'd be entertaining to, if y'all allowed me to come on the trip. Everybody else would probably find that funny. I'd be entertaining, so there's a plus. What do I want to be when I grow up? What do I want to do after I graduate? Well, I'm a senior at Kingston High School right now, and after I graduate high school, I'm planning on going to UNC Chapel Hill. I got a teaching fellow scholarship there, so I'm really excited about that. And I'm going to be double majoring in English and journalism. And I'm going to be doing a 5-year program called the MAT program. And I'll go 5 years and get my master's in English and in education. So I want to grow up and be a high school teacher, basically. And the journalism's kind of because I really like journalism, and also because I'd like to do something like have a yearbook class or a school newspaper class, like a journalism class in high school, which is something that I'm taking right now and I really like. So I'd like to do something like that. I've also thought a lot about doing the Peace Corps at some point. I know with the Teaching Fellow Scholarship, I'm going to have to teach for like 4 or 5 years after I get out, so I won't have a bunch of debt. And then I'd like to do the Peace Corps at some point. I think that would be really neat. My sister's interested in doing that as well. And why do I think that you should pick me, and what would I do with my experience? Well, first of all, I found it really interesting and kind of like fate when I saw where the study tour is going, where World Vision is taking the kids this year, and they're going to Burundi. And with Abbye that I was talking about, I'm in the International Baccalaureate program, we have to do this historical investigation. And the one I did this year actually required me to study about Burundi a lot. I studied how the genocide in Burundi in 1972 eventually led to the genocide in Rwanda in 1994, and so I had to do a lot of research on like the Hutus and the Tutsis and all the conflict that's going around there. So I learned a lot about Burundi, and it's really interesting to me that World Vision actually is helping this place that I've studied about, and I would love to go there. It would be so awesome. Plus, I've never really been out of the country, and I've never even been on a plane. I kind of stay in my little town, I guess. The only trips I've ever really been on are with my handbell choir. And I went on a recent one to Florida with my school, but I've never been out of the country, and I mean, I just think it would be so fun. And my church is going to help me fundraise if I do get accepted, which I really hope you'll pick me because I really want to go, and to raise the money and stuff so I can go. And that would be, I mean, I think that would just be a really good pre-college experience, so I can go to this public university, UNC, and have a worldly experience instead of just, you know, in the United States. Plus, I believe that, I mean, it'll be even more real to me and make me want to help even more than I already do to go to this country where we're helping. And I mean, I do think it'll probably be an emotional and not easy, and I know it's not a mission trip and it's not going to be like fun and games all the time, but that, I mean, that's, I want to learn more about it. I want to see what World Vision does. I mean, I think it'd be cool to hold a job at World Vision. Like, we're going to go to Seattle. If I were to get accepted, the study tour people, they go to Seattle first and go and have a tour of the World Vision headquarters. I think that would be really neat too, because just to see what y'all do with the money and what happens there and what's that next step. And what I would do with my experience, again, I would have a more worldly view of the world, I guess. Well, worldly view of the world. Well, I mean, it would just be a different perspective. I mean, I think that's really important. I'm getting older. It would be nice to know how other people think in the world and what goes on in other countries rather than just the United States, which is the only place I've been. Plus, I mean, I'm sure there's groups and organizations at UNC that does a 30-hour famine or is involved with some kind of World Vision thing. And if there's not, I could start one, especially if I'd had that experience with World Vision. I think that would be really neat, but I guess I don't want to bore you guys, and I've answered all the questions, so thank you. Bye.